Ex-President Olusegun Obasanjo is one person that a lot of people have been comparing to this present administration, to our present, President Tinubu, mainly because during his regime, he made sure that all of the debt that Nigeria is owing, he paid off everything. But it's so sad that right now, we are knee deep in debt. In fact, we are almost drowning. One of the reasons why there is scarcity of petrol and petrol prices keeps going up of recent is because half of the crude oil that we produce daily has already been used as collateral for loans that have already been collected, spent, embezzled, squandered, probably. It's so sad. But what I'm driving at is recently, ex-president Olusegun Obasanjo has been spilling a lot. He has been saying a lot, concerning this present government, and he still has more to say. Before we delve right into the details of today's news, if this is your first time here or you haven't subscribed to this channel, you're welcome. Please go ahead and subscribe. Join this amazing community we have here. Like this video, also leave your opinions in the comment section below as well. Breaking news, ex-President Olusegun Obasanjo seeks arrest and imprisonment of most Nigerian leaders. Newsroom Nigeria reports that past President Olusegun Obasanjo has sought the arrest and imprisonment of most Nigerian leaders. Newsroom gathers that former Nigerian President Olusegun Obasanjo on Friday expressed disapproval at the current state of the country, saying that the majority of its leaders should be behind bars or on gallows instead of a public office. The Nigerian news platform understands that Obasanjo, who spoke while addressing 6 lawmakers from the House of Representatives, maintains that in choosing good leaders, characters must be considered and questioned. Obviously, that is like at the bottom list of the criteria that is being used right now to, put up all of these politicians in office. Because if these criteria were used, like character, all of these things, Akpabio will not be a Senate president, and most of all these people, if not because they were able to bribe their way, they wouldn't even be in public office. But there's poverty in the land. People are blinded by money. All people are concerned about is, let me collect my share. The next time I will see you is the next election. So there's no benefit you add to me when you get into office if I don't collect any money from you. That's the mentality. But it's so wrong, because in doing that, we end up having bad leaders. And these are the same bad leaders that we keep protesting against every single day. The former president asserted that until leaders change their mentality, the country would never see the change it desired. I hope that we are going to see a day will come that, these leaders would eventually change their mentality, from taking their national cake and distributing the commonwealth of the nation amongst themselves. Instead, they would serve the country selflessly and not chase after money or enriching their own pockets. I hope someday we'll get to that stage. His words reads, more than anything else, such as changing our system of government or moving to a single term of 6 or 4 years, we must change our ways of doing things in this country. We must decarbonize our brains. We must change our mentality and character. How I wish that the succeeding government had built on the foundation we laid. What I know about Nigeria is that if we get it right, the leadership, the team, because one tree does not make a forest, you need a good leader, but you also need a good team for a job well done. I think that Obasanjo is also recognizing the fact that only the president cannot, make things better. He needs to also surround himself with, capable hands, good people that will advise him, to do the right things and not people that are going to, even if he has the mindset to change things, he's not going to surround himself with people that are going to, you know, make things worse for him. Even if he gives direction on what to do, okay, share bags of rice to the citizen and so on, these people would not end up, embezzling the whole thing and then spoiling, the mission for him. Because recently, the president announced that a bag of rice will be sold for 40,000 naira. We don't know what happened all of a sudden. The project has been cancelled. There is none of that. According to reports, there were people selling these same bags of rice that was supposed to be sold for 40,000 naira. People were selling it in the market for 90,000 naira, 80,000 naira at normal market value. This is the same rice that they said nobody should buy more than one bag. How come, a lot of these bags of rice ended up in those people's hands? This is what we are talking about when we say that he should surround themselves with good people, even if the president is trying to do good, even if, okay, tomorrow his saint ended up becoming the president, that is someone that actually wants to make a change, someone that actually wants to do things right. What about, the ministers? What about the senators, the House of Representatives member? Are these people ready to do the right thing as well? That's the question we need to ask. But what we have always done is to take one step forward, two steps aside, and four steps backward, which is why we are where we are in the country. For me, it is not so much about the system, but we may need to rethink the liberal democracy, which we talk of loyal opposition. What we do in Africa is sit down and reach a consensus. And after we have done that, there is no opposition. Everyone is on the same page and we move together. The word for opposition in all African languages that I have looked into is enemies. You see, this thing happens a lot, when even when it's not even pertaining to politics. In a particular class, two people are interested in the same position, notwithstanding the fact that their major concern, should be progress, should be that they want to move things forward, but they will always see each other as enemy, not minding the fact that the major goal of these two people contesting for a particular position should be progress, should be selfless service. But because of what they want to gain, they know that when they get the kind of money they will be able to have access to, the kind of money they will be able to embezzle, they fight each other to the last. They start killing each other. Their groups, their fans will start fighting each other, tackling each other. People then become enemy. That is why till today, we have the Yorubas versus Igbos. Igbos blaming Yoruba, Yoruba blaming Igbos. Igbos must go in Lagos, which is not supposed to be. We need to also erase this kind of mentality within our society as well. If you give someone a single term of 6 years, they can still do the evil they would have done in a case of 2 terms of 4 years. The only difference is that they would have done it within 6 years and not 4 years. That is if they were not re-elected for another 4 years. To me, it is not our problem. Our main problem is ourselves. And until we take care of ourselves, even if we adopt a single term of 6 years or one term of 4 years with the same mentality and the same way of doing things, nothing will change. So the very beginning is ourselves. Yes, we have to rethink our democracy, but the character of people in government must change. With all due respect, most of those in government should right now be behind bars or the gallows. Obasanjo is making sense actually, because if we actually want to do things right, if there will be an independent, agency or independent body that can actually not get compromised, if they start looking into one of all of these politicians, if they start looking into them one by one, how many people would would remain free and many people would not end up in prison. That's just the truth. Most of them will end up behind bars. Even Tinubu himself, even Baba Obasanjo speaking himself, if we start looking into them, if we start investigating all of their ventures, all of his ventures when he was in office, all of the ventures of these said politicians now in office, who amongst them will remain free? Let me know in the comment section what you all think. Thank you very much for always listening and watching. I will see you in my next video. Bye for now.